Hey guys, welcome back to another video where myself and Nathan are going to attempt to predict the scores for week 4 of this 2022-2023 Premier League season. Last week we had an absolute disaster. Nathan, you came away with 3.5 points and I came away with 6 points. I did have 2 perfect scores, but a couple of people who had a fantastic week last week were KTB FFH and Josh EV21. That's Josh. You may have seen him in one or two of your vlogs, Nathan. Yeah, both of those guys came away with 11.5 points. And incidentally, Josh is now at the top of the leaderboard on 36.0 points, surpassing Sportcat, who had an amazing week last week, of course. If you want to join the Superbru Predictions League, then there's a link in the description and a code as well, and I'll probably remind you at the end of this video. But let's just get on with it and get down to business.
Okay, so first up we have the midday on Saturday between Southampton and Manchester United. Now, I did not expect that victory the other night on Monday. Man United just playing Liverpool off the park completely. Liverpool's midfield just didn't turn up in that one, quite frankly. Coming up against Southampton team, if he starts the season, 1 loss, 1 draw and 1 win. Mind, that was against Leicester, who aren't doing great at all, to be fair. Difficult one to predict, this one, but I do think I'm just going to edge it towards Man United. I think they're going to start to build a little bit of momentum as long as they keep Harry Maguire on the bench. 1-0 Man United.
Yes, Manchester United were very good against Liverpool. That midfield is a little bit poor and their defence is letting in goals at the moment. Coming up against the Saints team, who have, as you said, lost 1, drawn 1 and 1-1, beating Leicester, who are near the bottom of the table themselves. The bookies and everybody's probably going to go for Manchester United. I'm going to go against the grain in this one. I don't think, the euphoria, they've probably got the momentum, there's a lot of confidence there probably after that victory over Liverpool, but I'm actually going to go for the Saints in this one. I think it'll be tight, but I think they'll come away with a 2-1 victory. I think last season it ended up 1-1. We then move on to the 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, where we see Brentford taking on Everton. Now, Brentford starting the season well. They of course beaten Manchester United themselves, but last weekend they narrowly lost 3-2 in that West London derby against Fulham. Should have got some points in that. They're coming up against an Everton side who are absolute dire at the moment, but they did pick up their first point of the season at home against Nottingham Forest, where they did go behind in that match, but they did manage to recover. Maybe they'll be better defensively, who knows, but Brentford at home, scoring lots of goals. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to the Bees. Yeah,
I've got exactly the same 2-0 to Brentford as well. Everton, I just can't see them keeping the goals out, to be honest. They've been very poor to start, and Brentford I've been impressed, really impressed by, actually, as you said. Anyway, moving on, next up we've got Brighton against Leeds. Now, Brighton 2-0 victors against a shocking West Ham, and then you have Leeds as well, who've had a superb start to the season, scoring lots of goals, beating Chelsea 3-0, which is really impressive. Now, this is tough. Who on earth are you predicting this one? I think there'll be goals, but I think both sides will leak something. So 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Yeah, this is possibly one of the games of the game week.
Oh, 100%.
Leeds, an amazing victory at home against Chelsea. Likes of Harrison and Rodrigo, who is top scorer in the Premier League at the moment, looking great. Trossard coming to the fore for Brighton. You know that Pascal Gross is doing well, scoring a couple of goals early on in the season. True, going to be tight. Should be good atmosphere down on the south coast, but I'm going to go for a Seagulls win in this one. 2-1. Incidentally, they've both got the same record in the league at the moment, although Leeds are currently in 3rd position. Next we've got Chelsea coming up against Leicester. Now, Chelsea are going to have to make amends. Thomas Tuchel will want them to make amends against Leicester. They will be missing Koulibaly from the back, who got sent off after 2 yellow cards. Defensively, they don't look great at the moment, and going forward, they haven't got that main striker, have they? They've got problems. Kante's injured in midfield, Kovacic as well. So, but they're coming up against a Leicester side. There was rumours earlier in the week from different sources on Twitter that Brenda could be on his way out the door. So
yeah, I think he's going to be first sacked now.
Possibly. Maddison getting on the score sheet last time out in that defeat against Southampton at home. So fully expect Chelsea at home to bounce back, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory.
Yes, Leicester have been really poor to start the season. If you look at their start, then you could have said they should have had about 6, maybe 7 points at a push.
They've scored 5 goals though in those 3 matches.
It is very good. It's just the defence is just completely woeful. Mind Chelsea, not good recently either, considering the amount of problems. But just looking at both the quality side and the how negative Leicester are at the moment, both on and off the pitch, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Next up, we've got a difficult one. Liverpool-Bournemouth. Terrible start to the season by Liverpool. Apparently, it's their worst ever start to a Premier League season, which is very interesting. Leaking goals everywhere, and they should have had 9 points by now, surely.
Well, Palace did well,
2 is terrible, to be honest. And they're coming up against Bournemouth side, who've started actually reasonably well. You could say 1 win and 2 losses.
I don't think so.
But then again, they have to play Man City and Arsenal, so I'd say that's a good start for them. If they can, in some of the less difficult games, get some points on the board, then that'd be great.
I think
they will push Liverpool a bit, but I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0 to Liverpool, clean sheet. Fantasy football players putting in like Trent, Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, etc. Hopefully there'll be a clean sheet for Liverpool for you guys this week. I think they will, coming up against a Bournemouth team who haven't scored in the last 2 matches. It might be that they'll bombard that Liverpool rearguard with the likes of Kiefer Moore and Solanke and Billing. They've got a lot of height up there, so maybe they'll bombard them. I don't know, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory to Liverpool to kickstart their season, you could say, especially with that woeful midfield at the moment. If you play in James Milner as one of your main midfield men at this time of the season, then but they are a lot of. I think even Naby Keita's got injured again. So 2-0 to the Reds for me. Then we move on to the next match again, which is great. Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Brilliant, is Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Manchester City currently second in the table. They gained that free draw against Newcastle. They were actually 3-1 down at one point in that match. But showed great character to come back to make it 3-3. Haaland could have bagged a few more than he did, but he is actually scoring goals. Home against Palace last season, this actually ended up 2-0 to Palace. Palace are doing very well themselves, currently in 9th position after initially losing on the opening day of the season when they lost against Arsenal.
Yeah, but Arsenal have been superb.
Yeah, they've drawn against Liverpool and they've dispatched Villa with aplomb, you could say. Difficult Man City at home. I think Haaland's suited to away matches, the way he can run behind defences, etc. So it's going to be a little bit tighter than most people expect. I'm going to go for 2-0 home win.
Interesting. The thing is with this one, Man City have got a terrible home record against Crystal Palace. If you remember that Andros Townsend goal a few years ago when they got smashed 2-0 last season as well. I can't see Man City picking up 3 points.
Really? Wow.
I just can't for this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been really impressed with Palace recently as well, and Vieira.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on next, we've got the 5:30 on Saturday between Arsenal and Fulham. Arsenal, what can you say? Absolutely superb. 3-0 against Bournemouth, undefeated, perfect score streak. And they're coming up against the Fulham side, who've actually had an unbeaten streak themselves. Draw with Liverpool, Wolves and Brentford. A victory against Brentford, I should say.
Yeah,
that is a great start to the season. Difficult this one, but Arsenal at home, with the way they've been playing, Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, superb. 2-0 Arsenal.
Martinelli, Jesus as well. Jesus been absolutely awesome since he's come in from Manchester City. All London affair.
Yeah.
I think the quality of Arsenal will shine through in the end. Odegaard's been doing really well. Martinelli, as we said, I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Arsenal, but Mitrovic may cause that Arsenal rearguard problems on Saturday evening. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, 2 o'clock kick-off. We have Aston Villa against West Ham. West Ham, who'd have thought? Bottom of the table, 0 points, losing all the matches, and they're yet to score.
No goals.
Terrible.
Oh dear.
Coming up against a Villa side who haven't been too clever themselves. The one victory out of their 3 matches, which was against Everton, and they actually conceded in that game. I think this is going to be a bit of a stalemate. West Ham need to come out and start scoring. They have signed Scamacca up front to help out Antonio. I think they will score in this one, but I can't see Villa winning either, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Interesting. I can see them just cancelling each other out. I think there's going to be quite a few goals as well. West Ham they've been leaking goals. Villa, I can see them leaking a few as well. I'm going to go Desmond's 2-2.
Fantastic.
Anyway, next up, moving on, we've got Wolves against Newcastle. Now, Newcastle have been absolutely brilliant when you watch them. That draw against Manchester City, absolutely superb, and they could have easily, they should have really won that.
St. Maximin with 3 assists as well.
Amazing. And then Brighton, really good. That performance was really good on the South Coast as well. They would just cancel each other out. And then that opening day of the season, 2-0 against Forest. Brilliant performance again. Wolves, they've been okay. They put up a good fight against Tottenham last time around, didn't they? But they haven't really lit up anything, really. No wins as of yet. In 18th position, losing to Leeds, drawing with Fulham. So that is quite a hard start to the season, to be fair. But Newcastle at the moment, you can't spare them. 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, I'm going to go for an away victory to the Magpies as well. Wolves find it very difficult to score. Just scored the 1 goal in these 3 matches. I thought they started off in the first half against Spurs really well. Actually, a lot of chances, and they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. I think was it Neves had a free kick in the second half as well, which just went a little bit wide. But overall, though, I think Newcastle, the way they're playing, this one actually could have a lot of goals in it. But I'm going to go for a tight victory to the Magpies, 1-0, and that is actually live on Sky at 2 o'clock. And the final fixture of this game week sees Nottingham Forest coming up against Spurs. Forest at home, they'll have a chance, but Spurs with Perisic, an amazing assist for Harry Kane last time out against Wolves. They look really good going forward. That forward line is awesome. Coming up against Forest side, who could score goals themselves. We know that they've had some like 14, 15, 16 new players, taken a little time to settle, but they've done okay. Last 2 matches they've beaten West Ham, and they've got that draw which they really should have beaten Everton at Goodison Park. So I think Spurs, it's another step up in quality. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really narrow as well. But just because the way Spurs have been playing, I think they will just edge it. But any team that goes to the City Ground this season is going to struggle, quite frankly. Do think Forest will score, but I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
Brilliant. So that concludes our predictions for game week 4. If you want to play along at home, then make sure you go over to the Superbru website after you finish watching this video. And if you're not already a member, enter that code and you can join the league. If you are already, thank you for playing along. Let's see if we can all catch up Josh at the top of the table. Now, this coming weekend, Nathan, what's happening? Are we going to go? Is there going to be a vlog?
Yeah, it's home game against Preston North End. What a boring fixture that is. But Preston have been improving this season, haven't they?
They haven't conceded. Cardiff, apart from against Bristol, not conceded. So
and can't really a barn door either. Terrible.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, let's watch our channel link in description
So
below.
will we see a vlog on Saturday night, Sunday?
Who knows? Who knows when
you can be bothered to put it up?
Yeah,
is it?
basically.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us once again today, this evening, or whenever you're watching it. Enjoy your Premier League weekend, and we'll see you all in the next video. Remember to leave your predictions.
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah,